Behind me is one of my subscribers, Audi S5, and this thing is going to be getting a full transformation. So the first thing we are going to be doing to Ian's S5 to completely transform it is going to have to do with the front end of this car. This grille isn't really it. There is no Audi logo, there's no rings. So the first thing we're going to be starting with on this car is a new front grille. So this is the new grille we got from Can Auto Performance. This is their Quattro grille. It has this little cutout at the bottom. It says Quattro. We got Audi rings, and that's a pretty big difference in my opinion. You guys can see it's really just going to add to the front end of this car. So let's go ahead and start by taking off the front bumper, and let's get to work. Little bro wrenching on his own car. This is a historical moment. The front bumper is off the car, and now I can take off this grille and go ahead and put the new one on the car. All right, this is the old, this is the new. I mean, honestly, someone might buy that, but go ahead and put this on. All right, this is what we're looking like so far. This already looks 10 times better than that old grille. So just got to put the screws back in this. We can put the bumper back on and get the final reveal. Go ahead. All right, so now that we got the bumper on the car, we can go ahead, put all the screws back underneath, and then we can drop it back down. And then we are done with the first mod of transforming this car. All right, so now that we have got the front grille on the car, I think it's time to go on to the next thing. So
I think it's only right to go to the biggest one.
Yeah, I think we have to. So right here we have a pretty big package. This one is from Can Auto Performance as well. So let's get this unwrapped. So we're gonna let you do the honors of unwrapping the present. So I guess let's go ahead and just... All right, so we need some screws to install the side skirts. So we're gonna go on a quick trip to go get some self-tap screws. So I'll take you guys along. All right, so what we're gonna need, oh yeah, we got these are the ones, use these ones. This is what we need, so we're gonna grab 12 of these. All right, well, we got the self-tap screws. Self-tap screws are secured, so let's head back to the shop. We're gonna start jacking the car up, and then we should be able to get the side skirt on for this side. Underneath, there's no OEM side skirt or anything, so this is gonna look really good on the car, and side skirts do wonders, so let's get these installed. All right, so let's test fit these and see how they're gonna line up on the car. Look at that. These are gonna look so good. All right, and just like that, we got one side done. So let's move on to the other side, and then we'll show you guys the full reveal. Oh man, these side skirts look so sick. All right, so now that we got the side skirts on the car, let's move on to the next thing. But basically, we are sort of starting with all of the cosmetic things for this car. And one thing we completely forgot to film putting on is this carbon fiber trunk lip, which is also from Can Auto Performance. Totally forgot to film this, but we also put this on the car. So we currently have 3 things we've done so far: the trunk lip, the side skirt, and then the front grille. So let's move on to the next thing. Another part we are going to be putting on the S5, and today we have one thing that is gonna fix something that's a bit outdated, and that is going to be these side mirror turn signals. They are really dim and they're just outdated, and we have a fix for that that is gonna make the car a lot more modern. So out of all the presents we have here, one of them is going to be the fix that we need, and I think it's this one right here. So let's bring this outside and open it up. Looks like we have some LED dynamic turn signals from our friends over at Can Auto Performance, and these are going to make the car look a lot more modern compared to the outdated lights it currently has. So first step to get off these mirrors, we got to take off the cover, and then we'll gain access to these lights. And it might feel like it's gonna break, but it'll pop out on each side. Hell no, bro, you gotta bee's nest hiding in there? Brian.
They all dead. I've washed the car hella times, bro.
Oh no, that's crazy. Well, we got this off. It's held on. These are the two clips. You want to mark these so you remember which spot they go in, and then you just unplug that. All right, and just like that, we got the glass cover off. All right, so after a bit of time, we got the cover off and we have the old light off. You can see there is a lot of condensation buildup in here, which is not good. And well, we have the brand new one, so it is a good thing we are replacing those old ones. But now just to reassemble, put it back together, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side and show you guys the finished result. All right, so we got the cover on, we got the light on. All we gotta do is put the mirror back in, plug it in, and we're good to go. I just want to show you guys how cool these are real quick. So if we turn them on, you guys will see the sequential turn signals on the sides. And this just makes the car look so much more modern compared to the outdated ones. But look at that, those are so sick. All right, well, a little change up of scenery, but we're about to install the next part, which we have right in here. So we'll get this opened up and see what we're gonna be putting on. So if we open this up, we have some brand new mirror caps from Can Auto Performance, which is going to replace these silver ones on the car, which doesn't really go with anything else since we've switched almost everything to carbon fiber or black. So the grille, side skirts, basically all the accents on this car are black, and these mirror caps just don't really match anymore. So these mirror caps are really just gonna tie everything together on the car. Brand new carbon fiber mirror caps, which side by side, you guys can see the difference. These are gonna look so good on the car. So let's start by getting off these old ones. And this is gonna be the same process as it was for putting on the dynamic turn signals, which you guys already saw. So we'll do this real quick and then just show you guys the final result. And again, a big shout out to Can Auto Performance for hooking it up with some carbon mirror covers. These are gonna make the car look that much better. And just like that, we got another part installed on the S5, and these mirror caps look so good. The car is coming together slowly but surely. Getting rid of that silver really did make a big difference. But just to show you guys the carbon mirror covers, these are such nice quality from Can Auto Performance. But we're gonna go back to the shop to install the next part for the car. All right, so the next part we're gonna be putting on the S5 is something a bit smaller, and it is also for the interior of the car. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got. We have some F1 magnetic paddle shifters, and these are the new ones from Can Auto Performance. So, and like I said, these are their new design, which I think are gonna look absolutely sick on this steering wheel. But it also comes with some smaller ones if you want to use these instead. But just give these a listen. Every time you shift up or down, there's absolutely no sound at all with the stock paddle shifters on this car, and you can see how small they are. So having something a bit bigger is going to be a lot better. So if we just imagine what that would look like, you'll have such a bigger paddle shifter to press onto compared to the small one. To get these paddle shifters on, we're going to have to go ahead and take off the steering wheel. Here, let me sit in that seat. This thing's being a pain. We just got that side. We're gonna go back to the first side and get that off, and then this airbag should come off. But I don't know what it is. On my car, it took me like 30 minutes to completely swap my wheel. So hopefully this last part is pretty easy. Oh. All right, and just like that, we got the airbag off. It took way longer than it should have. Now we can take this off. Just like that, we got the steering wheel off. Now we can go ahead and take this apart to swap out the paddle shifters. Now to taking off the trim on the steering wheel. So you want to be careful not to break it, but we got to pop all this up and then it should all come off. So we got the trim off the steering wheel. This is the connector for the shifter. So you're going to unplug on each side. It has one screw, it looks like, for the OEM paddle. So we're going to take that out and then swap in the new paddle shifters. All right, just like that, we got the OEM paddle shifters out. So now we can go ahead and put in these new ones, which these are gonna look so much better, and they're gonna sound a lot better too. So let's go ahead and put these on. Now to put the steering wheel back on, so you have to line it up. There is a line on the top of that right there. There's also one on the inside of the steering wheel. You want to make sure both of those are lined up when you're putting this wheel back on, or it's going to be some problem. All right, that looks like where it should be. And just like that, we got the Cap F1 magnetic paddle shifters on the car. Give those things a rip. Those sound absolutely amazing. This is definitely a W mod, even though it's something small. You're always driving the car, so it's something you're always gonna be clicking. Having these, game changer. So right now, the moment of truth, put it back on the battery. All right, now to start this thing up and make sure the paddles work. Bro, this kid is such a bot. Such a bot, bro. These paddles weren't working because this motherfucker did not plug them in right. That's crazy. Yo, chill. Bro, that is crazy work. And now to move on to the next part for the subscriber S5 build. And inside this box, we have a pretty special part. It is one of the most expensive mods we've done so far, and it's gonna make probably one of the biggest visual differences. So inside the box, we have some pretty special parts. If you guys can guess just by the shape of them, we have some carbon fiber vented fenders. So let's get these things unwrapped. These are going to look amazing on the car. And they're also the tiniest bit wider, so it's gonna add some aggression. Yeah, look at these. These are gonna be sick. First order of business, we're gonna start by popping the hood, taking out all the screws along the top of the fender, and then we can go ahead, jack the car up, pop off the wheel and tire, and then get all the screws inside the fender liner. We're gonna have to take off the front bumper too. I forgot about that, so I guess let's just get started. Now that we got the front bumper off the car, we can continue with removing the passenger side fender. I guess let it eat.
Yeah, I'm a mechanic, bruh. Hell yeah, dude. It's gonna have to fly a little bit.
All right, little progress update. So we have just now got the fender completely on. Everything's tightened down, and that will be both fenders on, and we'll see what this looks like. So, all right, and just like that, we finished up the last part of the first episode of this series. So we're gonna go ahead, tighten these wheels down, take this car to a different location. So I'll see you guys once we get there. All right, so we are here at the location, and we just finished up the first episode of this series with Ian's S5. We're just gonna go over all the stuff we have installed on this car for the first episode. Starting with probably the biggest visual mod we did, which are these carbon fiber fenders. These just look so aggressive. But moving on to the interior, we had to do some magnetic paddle shifters. These just changed the whole driving experience. But back to the exterior, we fitted a new grille to the front end, which just looks so much better than the old one. And lastly, we had to add some more carbon to the car, so we did Cap's new side skirts along with a pre-preg trunk lip, carbon fiber mirror covers, and some sequential turn signals. And if you guys want to see more series like this, either building a subscriber's car or building a cheap car that we end up giving away, let me know in the comments down below, because I have a few ideas I think you guys will really like. But like I said, definitely stay tuned for the second episode of this series. This thing's gonna look completely different once that video is done. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end the video right here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you drop a like on the video. Definitely hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.